Hello there. Our brush tonight, I've had it soaking a bit, is my Vie Long, I believe it's 12601 horsehair brush. And the soap tonight is a discontinued soap from Razor Rock. This is Napoleon's Violet. Lovely, light, gentle, violet, wonderful, delicate scent. Lovely. Beautiful soap. Razor Rock's had a lot of good soaps, and they still have a lot of good soaps. They've had a lot of good soaps through the years that they no longer make. This is one of them. I know that there are others, although they're not coming to my mind off the top of my head. Let's move on down and lather. Fine. Then we'll do it like that, big boy. It's getting fairly cool and moving toward almost ready for scuttle all the time season. I have several different bowls that I enjoy using, but when winter rolls around, truly and finally, put a little water in there, it's scuttle time. I was reading a thread, I think it was in Shades of Man, I don't know, and this is just my take on it and all that, and I think a lot of DE guys use them more than straights, but it doesn't matter whether it's a DE or straight or anything else. But I was watching a thread, or I responded to a thread, and they were talking about, the guy asked, who uses a pre-shave oil? They don't, to me, they don't really do me any good. All they ever seem to do, beautiful leather, is gum up my razor, especially a DE. For some reason, it's alright if the leather on your face is warm and stays that way. Let's move on up. That kind of deal. But once it cools off even just a little bit, all a pre-shave oil ever has done for me is gum up my blade. It gums up my blade. It causes, and I've got a couple days growth, it causes problems lathering some soaps. Now, if you use a pre-shave oil, don't get me wrong. If you use it and you have success with it, and I need some more water, then that's good. I'm not saying that what I'm experiencing or my opinion on something needs more water. It's the only one, and that is true for everybody 100% of the time, all of that. But if you have, in my experience now, you can take that for what you will. Fantastic lather, by the way. But in my experience, the best pre-shave is a really nice slick soap. If your soap is slick, you don't need a pre-shave. That's what a pre-shave oil and what all that it's designed to do is kind of to help your razor glide. Find a slick soap and use it. That's kind of my philosophy. Tonight's razor is my Johann Engstrom frameback in rosewood scales. I don't know if you can read that. Swedish steel. Lovely, lovely razor. Beautiful. Nice and sharp. And with this razor, you have to kind of watch the angle because you'll end up pulling it too far away from the skin. If you look at it, it's very, very narrow. And so the normal couple of spine widths, I'll do like about a spine width or spine width and a half. But that normal distance, lovely, which you would assume in pretty much every other straight that you're using, is too far away because the blade is so thin. But once you get, and a lot of times people will go, well, that razor's not sharp. Sure it is. Now it can be sharp and comfortable, or it can be sharp and not comfortable, but if it's splitting hairs, it's sharp. And it's not that the razor's not sharp, it's that the angle that they're using, the spine is not close enough. Let's add a little water to what's in the bowl here. Bit more, because it was a little dry on that last pass, that first pass, and I had to add a bit of water to the lather. So I'm going to add it now for the second pass. Lovely. That's beautiful. That's another key. I've said this over and over again, but it bears repeating because there's always new guys watching. Particularly with a straight razor, you want a kind of wet lather, wetter than what most people want a dense, thick lather that's like a quarter of an inch off their face. That's too dry. It's too dry, but like, it looks pretty, but it doesn't do the work that lather should do. It's gorgeous. Also, the more water you have in your lather, generally the more slickness you can pull out of that lather. Now, and that stuff right there is pretty slick. there are shavers that I respect, and they say things like, well, I want my lather the consistency of plaster. That's too thick for me. But all of that's personal preference to a point. Dude, although it's demonstrably proven that more water, as long as the lather stays stable, usually increases slickness. So if you're a new guy, and you haven't developed a preference yet, gorgeous, gorgeous shave, man. Or if you're an older guy, and sometimes you get fantastic lather, and sometimes your lather is, put some more water in that lather that's kind of, throw some more water in it and try it. If it don't work, you haven't lost anything. What have you lost? If you got a so-so lather already, what difference does it make? Give it a shot. You never know. All right, hold on a minute. There we go. I forgot to get me a towel out. Never know till you try. Cold water rinse. That was blooming fantastic. Nice, close, smooth, comfortable shave. I'm going to close out just simply because I haven't used it in a while with Aquavella Musk. There's the Musk scent, for some reason, I have found works really well with violet. Then I got to be careful. I sliced my finger open. There's a video about it. Although by the time this airs, might be old news, but I don't want any alcohol in that. So if I look funny putting aftershave on my face, that's why. Alright, thanks for watching and joining me. God bless you, and I will talk to you later on.